and welcome to the Texas Fair Lending Alliance Financial Tips Podcast. We're really excited today to have Elizabeth Colvin with us. She's the director of Raise Texas. And just to give you a little background, the Texas Fair Lending Alliance is a coalition of nonprofits in Texas working for consumer protection, fair lending, and other policies that build financial well-being of Texas families. My name is Ann Bedour, and I direct the Fair Financial Services Project at Texas Appleseed. At Texas Appleseed, we're a nonprofit, and we work to enhance also well-being of families, communities, and children here in Texas. And so, Elizabeth, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself and Raise Texas and why you're part of the Texas Fair Lending Alliance.
I'm Executive Director of Raise Texas. We are a statewide coalition that's working to ensure that every Texan has the power to build sustainable wealth and prosperity. We want to help people earn more, keep more money, and access better financial products like car loans, short-term loans, health insurance, retirement plans, and sort of the suite of services that are required for sort of long-term financial security.
That's great. Well, you're an incredible partner, and thank you so much for being here. So for our first podcast of the year, we thought we might focus in on a topic that is probably high on people's minds at this time of year. It's not necessarily a favorite topic, but something that really impacts on our lives, and that's taxes. So we should all be getting our W-2s in the mail, or maybe if you have an online portal with your employer, you've already got them and you're thinking about what to do. How do I get the best refund? And I've been watching a lot of football lately, I have to admit, and with all the bowl games, taxes has been really top of mind. So many of the advertisements, one of the bowl games here in Houston was sponsored by a tax preparer. There were ads for refund loans and tax services and so many different choices. And sometimes it can be confusing in this market. What are my best options? How do I shop around? How do I choose the right tax preparation options for myself? And when I thought about that topic, I thought, Elizabeth Colvin, you are one of the experts in Texas about working on these issues and at the community level. So could you talk to us a little bit about how people navigate that sometimes overwhelming and complicated tax preparation scene?
Well, tax time can be very overwhelming, but it's also an exciting time because you can really boost your income by claiming the many tax credits that are available. And we want to make sure that people get all of the money that they're eligible for. So there are many options on how to prepare your tax return. Some people want nothing to do with taxes, want to turn it over to someone and have them do their taxes for them. And we just want to make sure people get a reputable, safe tax preparation and take advantage of the many free services that are available. So there's lots of free options in person and online. And we really encourage people to explore those options first before they turn to a paid preparer.
A lot of times, we hear the advice, nothing in life is free. And people might be a little skeptical of, wait, a free service, it must not be as good as the services that I'm paying for. Can you talk a little bit about these free tax preparation programs, who can access them, who's offering them, and why it's something that people can trust in their community?
Yes, free is a problematic word for folks. It's seen as less than or not as good as, but the reality is the free tax preparation programs are held to a higher standard than paid preparers. There's essentially no regulation of paid preparers in Texas. And yet free tax preparation programs known as VITA or TaxAid and other names in different communities are held to a very high standard by the IRS. Every person preparing your return, they're generally volunteers, have to take a test and be certified by the IRS to know the current tax law and to certify that they know how to prepare your taxes correctly. And other paid preparers are not held to that same standard. The accuracy rate of the free tax preparation programs is significantly higher than the accuracy rate of paid preparers. The other thing that you need to realize is the free tax preparation services have no profit motive. Their goal is to provide you sort of with the best return possible and make sure that they're not mistakes that you're not going to get contacted by the IRS to fix later. it really is a tremendous opportunity, and free should not scare people off. It is actually, they should have tremendous confidence in the quality of the service they get.
So for Texans who are interested in these options, how do they know where to go or what they might qualify, how to look for these different choices?
Well, on the Raise Texas website, we've created a page as a starting point that lists several free options available. So there are online options, and you can find these on raisetexas.org/tax. And we list two online options. One is through a program called Code for America, or Get Your Refund. That is a free virtual process. And the other is My Free Taxes, which is run by United Way, which many people will recognize as a nonprofit in their local communities. The IRS also offers a free file platform, and those are companies that you'll recognize like H&R Block and TaxAct, that as part of the IRS, if you qualify, you can file your taxes for free through those platforms. You do have to be very careful though, because they tend to upsell. They tend to offer like, well, yes, this is free, but hey, if you want to pay more money, you'll get this. So we really prefer people to use Get Your Refund or My Free Taxes. Those are just safer options. You don't have to worry about accidentally stumbling into any fees.
Fantastic. So if I go to the Raise Texas website, and we'll be posting the URL, then I can get all the information of how to find those specific options, what I might qualify for. But in general, there's a free option that pretty much everybody who has a normal kind of tax return. Obviously, people have very complex issues. If they're a business owner, have other things, there are probably going to be other things they consider. But most people file a standard tax return. Isn't that right?
Yeah. So, and for the VITA programs and tax aid, generally you're eligible if you're making less than $60,000 a year. Those numbers do vary. In Austin, Central Texas, for a family of 4 people, I believe their eligibility goes up to 80 or 85,000. So it's important to check in your local community about the eligibility. But most people have very simple tax returns. They get a W-2 or a couple of W-2s. They may have Social Security, and it's a very simple tax return to prepare. And people should not be paying is sort of an average preparation fee is around $250. Some people pay up to $500 for very simple taxes that can easily be done and done well for free.
Wow, $500. I could think of a lot of things I could do with $500. Maybe pay down some debt, get a little savings account going. That's a pretty meaningful amount of money.
That's a lot of money. And it's your money. It's money you've earned and money you're eligible for that is being taken away from you in these tax preparation fees. So, we want you to keep all your money. You've earned it, you're eligible for it. So don't lose that money in tax preparation fees.
What about, oftentimes when I'm driving down the streets, you'll see people with banners saying, hey, come do your taxes here. You can get your refund today. Well, there are some refund advance products. There are car dealerships that say, hey, come in. We'll give you your refund right away. You can get you into car, drive off the lot. Can you talk a little bit about some of those offers? Because they sound really good. Are they too good to be true?
They really are too good to be true. And keep in mind that cash is king. It's much better for you to get that cash in your refund and to be able to decide exactly how you want to spend it. It gives you the power to shop around. So it's much better to, instead of being lured in by this will be a down payment on a car, give yourself the ability to shop around, get your full refund, and you're going to end up with more money to invest or spend on a car or meet your needs if you get your taxes done for free than if you use one of those services.
Is there anything else you think is important for people to know as they start to look into this process that, all of us have to do this once a year, and, but What should people be thinking about? What haven't we touched on?
Well, tax season officially begins January 29th. So you can get your taxes done before then, but all the tax preparation services, whether it's paid or free, hold on to those returns until the IRS starts processing them on January 29th. If you are getting one of the tax credits, a child tax credit or the earned income tax credit, the IRS does not release those refunds until mid-February. You're not going to get it any faster by going to a paid preparer or getting it done for free. So you just need to really plan ahead and budget. The IRS says you can expect your refund by February 27th if you're getting a child tax credit or earned income credit. So just plan on that, get the taxes done for free, and then plan on getting a much bigger check in late February rather than trying to get money quicker, and you're just going to end up losing out on money that you have earned.
So it sounds good. I can get $3,000 today if I qualify for a tax credit, but actually by getting $3,000 today, I'm probably giving up at least a few $100s.
Absolutely. You are giving up money that you could pay rent, money for food. So it is so much better to wait and get all the cash you're eligible for.
What about people who maybe struggle to meet the deadline to file their taxes or need an extension? Is there something that you want to talk about there? That sometimes is a scenario that comes up.
Yeah, so the tax filing deadline is April 15th. I think that's pretty well understood. And that is very much a deadline. That is the deadline to pay if you owe your taxes. You can get an extension until October 15th, but that extension is only on filing the tax return. Your money is still due on April 15th. If you delay and owe money to the IRS, you're going to be accumulating interest and a late payment penalty on that money you owe the IRS. So it's really good to just get it done and
Keep
pay
your eye on April 15th.
Yes. Now, if the IRS owes you money, you can get an extension and get that later without any penalties, but you're missing out on money. And the IRS we'd much rather you have that money than the IRS.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Elizabeth. And could you tell us one more time the website that people can go to for resources? I think that's really important. And hopefully if there's one takeaway, that's something that people can look at, see what's in their community, and really go in informed about the options and what's available.
Yeah, so it's raisetexas.org/tax. And we also have it available in Spanish with raisetexas.org/impuestos. People can also call 211 and ask about free tax filing options in their community. We have a select list of cities with links to the free tax preparation programs in those communities. But we encourage people, call 211, ask about free tax preparation that's available. Go to our website, click on the buttons to get to the virtual options. It's really easy to explore these options, and it can save you a lot of money.
Fantastic. So if there were 3 things people would take away from this, you can quiz me if I'm right, but I would say, number 1, file your taxes on time. Number 2, there are free options in the community, and look for those free options. And number 3, waiting a little bit for your money gives you more power over it and puts more money in your pocket. Did I pass the test?
You passed the test. Yes. Excellent.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you. And thank you for being part of the Texas Fair Lending Alliance, working with a coalition of organizations across the state to support financial well-being in Texas through policy, programs, advocacy, and community-based action. And we're really excited to profile this important topic and hope to be back soon with more financial tips to support and help Texans and financial well-being in Texas. Thanks, Elizabeth.
Thank you.